watch you perform fight scenes.
What is it?
Fight scenes.
Oh, fight scenes.
Because I think your moves and techniques always look so smooth and powerful and authentic. And I was wondering whether you had any experience or training before you became an actor and what your favorite fight scene was.
No, I've never had proper training for any kind of like fighting discipline. That being said, I have worked with people who have had extreme experience with fighting disciplines, and I tend to just say, hey, show me what you would do in this situation. And then they would do it, and then I would just mimic that. I always played a lot of sports growing up. I feel like I'm a fairly athletic person, so when somebody challenges me with something physical, I always think that I can do it. whether or not I can do it or not is is another thing. But like when somebody says, hey, can you do this particular move, this fight sequence, this, that, the other, I will try my hardest to do exactly what they envisioned. So like fight coordinators, or stunt coordinators. Stunt coordinators are responsible for the entire stunt team. They're responsible for the actors whenever they're doing stunts. They're responsible for the stunt performers whenever they're doing stunts. They're responsible for the stunt riggers whenever they're rigging up like wire pulls or anything, air rams, whatever it is. They're the head of the department. I will say that the stunt coordinator on Supernatural, we had two. Lou Bolo, God rest his soul, left us. Yep. Yes. Lou was old school stunt guy. Was one of the stunt guys that throws himself off a galloping horse. But the stunt game changed during his career. And it became less like falling off a horse or getting hit by a car, and it turned into more martial arts, and it turned into more like John Wick stuff. And Lou adapted very well, but he eventually was like, I'm going to pass it off. And he passed it off to a man named Rob Hader, and Rob Hader came in and did amazing things the last few years of Supernatural, and he brought in a discipline, I think, of martial arts into the characters, and you may have noticed that, you may not have, I don't know, but some of those fight sequences were really intricate, and they were done so in a way that were supposed to be real life, but also camera friendly and film friendly. I was fortunate enough to have two stunt doubles throughout my career in Supernatural. Todd Scott was my first one, who had been with me since Dark Angel, and then he got too popular, so he became Jason Momoa's stunt coordinator. And Todd's doing great, and I love Todd, and I still talk to him to this day. But then in stepped another stunt double, Jesse Blue, and Jesse came from a martial arts background, and I believe he's probably gonna text me later and be like, dude, no I haven't. But I think it was like 30 different disciplines.
I think he has his own dojo.
And he has his own dojo, yes. But he had never done on-camera work with stunts. So it was a great mix of me understanding what's gonna look right on camera, and him saying, what would you actually do in real life? So then I would take what a real person would do in a situation, and then I would make it camera friendly and make it film friendly, because his stuff was so tight and so you would never see it from the camera. Be like, they just look like they're, you know, hugging. When really he just dislocated someone's jaw. And so I was like, okay, I understand what you're doing. Well, we gotta put space in between us, and it's gotta be big hits, as opposed to like, and tying somebody up, and like all of a sudden he's like breaking an ankle, and I'm like, how did that happen? So we worked really well together in combining what he knew with what I knew to then bring it forward. My favorite, I think, stunt sequence was in an episode that I directed, Atomic Monster. It was the beginning sequence where like Dream Dean was fighting his way through the bunker. That wasn't in the script. I told this story, some of you know this. That wasn't in the script. I just wanted to do something fun. And I wanted to do some big fight sequence, and that's what we came up with. And that was Rob Hader as the stunt coordinator, and Jesse as my double. Unfortunately, Jesse didn't get to do a lot of work that day, because he's a really good teacher, and he taught me how to do all those moves, and then I was able to execute them because I wanted to. But that was one of my favorite stunt sequences, was that. And then I can get into, I'll real quickly get into The Boys. Stunt coordinator there is John Koyama, we call him Koi. And Koi is just not just an incredible stunt coordinator, he's like an amazing leader, but also just a wonderful human being. And to get to work with him on these fight sequences that were way bigger than what, like I had like 2 weeks of rehearsal to do some of the stuff that we were doing on The Boys. Whereas on Supernatural, I get 20 minutes of rehearsal before we'd actually have to shoot. So I got to really get in there and like give my input. And I will say, and I can say this because he didn't just tell me, he wasn't just giving me lip service, but he really enjoyed my creative input to the fight sequence. Like I was coming up with different moves, and I was coming up with different actions, and he implemented so many of them that he started calling me the fight coordinator. And so much so that when I went to Big Sky, his buddy, Al Gatto, was the stunt coordinator on Big Sky, and Al Gatto and Koi knew each other, so Koi called ahead and was like, hey, you're getting one of my best fight coordinators. and Al made me a Big Sky hat that had fight coordinator written on the back. So, yeah, I do like my stunts. But I'm also getting a little older, and the falls are getting harder to get up from. But I'm gonna keep doing it. Listen, Harrison Ford and Tom Cruise and those guys can still do it at their age. Then I got a lot of stunt years ahead of me. Okay, next question. Oh, you're still there. Oh, wow. Okay. I thought you'd just go sit down and I'd get back to you. But hey, I'm getting back to you. Hang on. It was called. What was it called? Yep, you're right. I knew naked was in there somewhere. Hey Siri. Oh no, it's not. Do I not have any service? What's happening? Shoot. Hang on. Calm down. Alright, I'm not finding it. I'm probably gonna have to like get Spain to.
Okay, maybe later.
All right, maybe later. Maybe later.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. I'm gonna keep looking while I'm answering other questions. Hi. Hi.
Hi, I was wondering, what's your favorite Disneyland or Disney World attraction?
The parking lot.